Incidentally, folks, the reason I sometimes get frustrated in these videos is because we need a lot of change to happen. And there's a lot of things that aren't being taught correctly in our schools. There's a lot of wrong beliefs out there. There's a lot of simply unbelief and lack of knowledge of the truth. And so it's my anger at that unbelief and that ignorance and that withholding of the truth from people that comes out in my videos, as it rightfully should. The Bible says, "Ye that love the Lord, love Jehovah, hate evil." Okay? If you're listening to someone that's always just smiling all the time and just giving you euphemisms about whatever it is they're talking about, they're probably missing the current state of the generation. We got some big problems in terms of what is being taught to kids in schools right now. We got some big problems regarding people's beliefs about this universe and who God is. If there's one thing that man gets wrong, continually, from the greatest to the least, if there's one thing that man gets wrong from start to finish, he underestimates just how good God is. He underestimates how intelligent God is, and how amazing, and how it's all about God. How the whole story is completely 100% about God. And they simply cannot believe that there is a triune God over all this that literally knows every number of hairs on every single person's body. Okay? That is the truth. The truth is God knows where every single atom is in the entire universe and the numbers of all of them. And the entire story is for His pleasure. Okay? The greatest sin is unbelief. Okay? How did you become a Christian? Well, you believed. That's what you did. You believed. Okay? The greatest sin is unbelief. Okay? And unbelief about how good God is. Man in the flesh struggles to believe that God can actually be that good. For example, that all the words of the English language are perfectly exactly what they're supposed to be for God's mathematical glory and pleasure day and night. Okay? You simply have to believe that. And once you see it, I mean, I've believed it before I've seen it all. I believed it from the beginning, and you're just going around scooping up the gold. It's like, yeah, this is all here. It makes perfect sense. God is perfect. God is sovereign. He speaks English. Therefore, English is perfect mathematically. Perfect. Awesome. Okay? I've said this before. God is not throwing away the story of world history as if it was some kind of mess outside of His control. No, 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 no. Okay? 10,000 years from now, when we're in heaven worshiping God, we're going to have the perfect, quintessential, every detail knowledge of world history, and we're going to see it all to the millionth degree of how God took the glory for everything down to the detail without question. Okay? But people need to cut through. I'm like, when you approach the truth, when you approach things eternal and fresh revelation, cut through some of the emotion. Okay? We'll stay factual. But if you don't get somewhat frustrated once in a while with the current state of the generation and people's beliefs, then Jesus said, "I wish that you were either hot or cold." You know, what's the sign of someone who's hot? Well, they care a lot. They get emotional when they talk about truth and understanding that there's a lot of people that don't know certain things. So I encourage you massively to just completely throw out what people might think of you and just speak the truth. Who cares how it presents? Who cares how it comes across? Who cares if you're not like, you know, Mr. Calm and Collected speaker? We don't have time for that. That's garbage. That's phoniness. I just have to be honest with my feelings at all times. I need to be honest with I'm just being honest with what I feel like saying, with what I feel emotionally when I come up with, you know, discoveries compared to what things currently are in the schools, and, you know, the great dichotomy between that and all that. Just, thank God for God. Another thing I'd like to say is that, as a personal reminder too, is that God is sovereign. Okay? And I think there's a tendency that we have, particularly as men. Oh boy, we really do like to know it all. And we like to say that we know it all. But you should be that hungry for knowledge. You should be that passionate about knowledge and truth that you're like this relentless beast to try and get the whole truth about God and everything. No, God is sovereign. If you learned something today, if you were just awakened to something today, it's more appropriate to thank God for it and rejoice than to be frustrated with, the years of life that you were in darkness to that particular truth. It's like, don't be frustrated with the past, or don't be frustrated with the people that were in your life, or maybe still are in your life in their current state of knowledge. Don't be frustrated with the current state of things even as they are, because God is sovereign and He has a plan to redeem people and save people and grow people in the knowledge of Him one by one. And but man, I just feel like sometimes we really do need, come on people, let's get with the program here. How have we missed this, and how have we been missing this, and how, you can't ignore this, and learn it. Please learn it, and share it with others, just eat up the knowledge and stuff. So be natural, be honest. It's if you feel like shouting something, you better shout it. Don't hold it back. If you feel like saying something in anger because there's a bunch of bad teachers out there and the schools are teaching dumb junk, and if you feel like saying something in anger, you better say it in anger. Be honest. Just blah. Get your emotions out there in whatever it is that you speak. Whatever you feel like speaking, that's the natural you. So maybe you're not exactly 100% like Christ yet. Maybe far from it. But above all, just be honest. That's what I'm saying. If I feel angry when I say something, I'm just going to let it out angry. If I feel overwhelmed when I discover something, I'm probably going to talk overwhelmed. If I feel to some degree, saying something, just criticizing some regime that I went through in the past, I'm going to let it out. It needs to be criticized. It was terrible. It's so be dead honest with yourself. Be dead honest. Just let it out. Who cares what other people, let it out. Be dead honest with what you're feeling, be dead honest with what you're thinking, and just share. Express. And that's how we all come to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God. Okay? A lot of confession. A lot of admitting that we have pockets in our knowledge that we don't have, but boy, be hungry. Jesus said, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. We're not all there yet, but we are hungry to get it all. We're hungry to see it all. We're hungry to get more. We got some amazing findings this morning. And just, in the moment, you're just so adrenalized by how amazing this is. You're just like, yeah! Oh my goodness. It's awesome though. The more you feast on this beauty, it's just awesome. It sets you free. You're just I just have no patience for non-beauty. I have no patience for non-eternal things. You just graduate. I've preached on this before and I love it. It's God is graduating us. He's always lifting us up. He knows where we're all at, but God is graduating us to higher and higher levels of pleasure. Okay? He's graduating us. Okay? It's more pleasurable. You graduate to working on truths and words that last forever. You graduate from simple entertainments. As a kid, you loved playing video games. You loved basic artistic amusements. Okay? But God grows you in your pleasure levels. He grows you in your life. And He graduates us to higher levels of pleasure. Okay? And we find pleasure. We find more pleasure in giving and expressing truth to others. We find more pleasure in laboring in things eternal. Okay? Like the words of God and the words of world history and the numbers thereof. Okay? So, I encourage you to be raw with God. And have at least a couple people in your life who you feel comfortable being raw with. Just whatever you're feeling. Obviously you don't want to offend people unnecessarily, and be emotional unnecessarily. But man, if you're fired up, don't hold back. Just like, it doesn't matter to me, just as long as you start communicating. And if you got something exciting to share, I would rather have someone communicate awkwardly and share something cool with the world than not say anything at all. Wouldn't you? If someone was finding something cool, if someone was finding cool things and amazing things about God, I would rather they just shared them on any level with any kind of, posture or style. I don't care. I just want them to share. Get it out there. And then maybe they'll get it to someone that has a different set of speaking talent or a different personality that will then share it to someone that has a different speaking personality that will reach other certain people. I love that. Certain people, just different personality. They can get, all this is truth. All this is universal truth. Okay? Speaking is flowers. I mean, the means of communication, you got to override that. That's one thing that is so helpful to do if you want to, get truth, right? And just here is, bypass some of the secondary things about how it's being communicated and just get the truth that lasts forever. The words, and the numbers are up. Awesome stuff. Totally awesome. Keep speaking, people. Speak the truth. It's just like, baptize yourself in the truth. Just baptize yourself in the truth. Speak the truth. And just keep doing that. Just keep doing that.